Yo guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the next episode of my NQT Diaries show. So, before we start getting into this, there's probably something about this picture that is different from my other videos if you have been catching up and if you've been watching. I have a new microphone. This is something that I've been intending to purchase for a little while now. I do actually have a Rode mic that is designed to go on the DSLR, but unfortunately the DSLR, I wasn't aware of this, but it's not compatible, and I'm not in a position at the moment to upgrade the camera. So I have purchased an additional mic that I can be using, and also this year my hope and my intention, I say hope, I'm going to do it, is to set up a podcast and to engage in a podcast. So that will be coming soon, so keep your ears open for that. Right, now I've said that and this kind of elephant in the room is out of the way, let's get into the video. Let me talk about me starting back after Christmas, back at school. It's been a good week. Let's get into the video, guys. Right, so first and foremost, obviously coming back into the new year, generally speaking, my mentality sort of upgrades, I suppose you could say. You come sort of towards the end of the year, around December time, and you're getting ready for Christmas, and it's quite a tiring time of year. Work, obviously, you're trying to finish things off before the end of the year. In my situation, obviously teaching in school, all of the children, as rightly so, are really excited about the concept of Santa coming along and delivering them loads of presents, and school is all a little bit different. It's we obviously have lots of fun activities for the children ready for Christmas. So starting back in 2020, obviously the start of a new decade as well. Normally what I try to do is I try to set myself a list of goals, a list of targets, things that I really want to achieve throughout the year, so that when I come back and I look at what I have achieved in December, there is something there that I've achieved. I'm in a better position to what I'm in right now. So I've done that, and part of that is obviously I've considered how am I going to improve my ability to teach, and how am I going to ultimately give the children the best version of me so that they can learn and progress as quickly and as positively as possible. And so that's what I've done. I have really thoroughly assessed the topics and the modules that I'm essentially going to be teaching the children this term and for terms to come. Obviously the focus is this next term, and I have planned appropriately. Now, we've got quite an exciting term. In topic, we are looking at America, and we're looking at Europe, so there's loads of stuff I can cover there. In science, we're doing electricity, so I planned a lot of practical stuff in for there. And then literacy, we're looking at poetry, so we get to experiment with lots of different things there too. Now, one of the biggest things, and I am a very strong advocate for this, is I want to be able to provide the children that I teach with positive learning experiences. And for me, that comes in the form of practicals, that comes in the form of sort of audio and all sorts of different visually stimulating tasks or topics or exercises. I have obviously grown up, my degree was in animal science, so I've grown up in a very practical environment, sort of in later life, I suppose, and I personally thrive off of physically doing something, physically trying something out. And I think it's really important for me as their teacher to be able to give the children the opportunity to do that too. So already this week, it's been a very busy week, and I really enjoyed my lay-in this morning. It's now Sunday, I really enjoyed my lay-in this morning. But this week we've done loads of stuff. In our literacy, our class book is The Train to Impossible Places, and so I thought, as a wow for the beginning of literacy, why not make a train? So as a class, I found a load of cardboard boxes, and together we painted and we stuck bits onto the cardboard boxes, and we made a really cool looking train. I still need to put it together, and it's going to go in my class, but the children were so engaged in it, and already they're excited about this book that we've not even read yet, because they've built this big train, and it's going to be sort of a centerpiece in the classroom. Then in science, as I said, we are doing electricity. We're going to be looking at electrical circuits, the dangers of electricity. I'm going to be doing a bit of safety talks with them. And so before kind of throwing them into the deep end with electricity, I found in our science cupboard that we've got loads of batteries, we've got wires, or cables, I suppose you could say. We've got bulbs, buzzers, motors. And so I taught the children about the concepts of electricity and how an electrical circuit functions, the important bits to remember, making sure that they don't have a broken circuit and all of that. And rather than making it a very sort of conceptual idea, we just physically did it. So I gave the children loads of batteries, I gave them all the wires, I gave them light bulbs, and I gave them buzzers and motors and all sorts of other bits, and I just said, try and make the light bulb work. You know, why might it not work? And their faces, oh, it was unbelievable. They were so excited, they were happy. I got tons of photos of the children with like motors with bits of paper spinning on them. It was brilliant. And that's basically the main reason why I kind of got into teaching, is to give children those learning opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't necessarily get. So far it's been a really exciting beginning to 2020 and to the children's sort of third term. One thing that is quite scary, looking sort of back at the year and looking forward, is in terms of term-wise, I've just finished the first third of my NQT year, so I've got two thirds left. But in terms of time, I'm coming up to the halfway mark, because the first term was 8 weeks, the second term was 7, and they're going to get shorter and shorter. Obviously, the end of the school year, the end of the academic year, is at the end of July. We started at the beginning of September. So in terms of time, we've obviously got half terms mixed in as well. I've only actually got about 5 and a bit months left until I finish my NQT year, which is kind of scary. So as I've said, I have got lots of cool plans set up. I'm planning on doing lots of practicals with the children. And there are a few other changes as well. So obviously now we have 2 terms worth of data, looking at how well the children are doing, how they're developing. I'm able to now start looking at the stats and see what areas I really need to focus on, which gives me a game plan. It's really exciting because I know the areas that my children need a little bit more development on, and so I can plan accordingly, which is great fun. So one thing that I have noticed, and it's probably because they've had those 2 weeks off, they've not had the structure of school and coming in and sitting down and focusing on work, is the children were very excitable this week. And I'm not surprised, because we did lots of practical activities, but they were very excitable, which meant that come Friday afternoon, I sort of sat down at the end of the day and I was exhausted. It was a good exhaustion. It wasn't a frustrated exhaustion. It wasn't like tiring in that sense, but it's my own. I'm my own worst enemy in that sense. It's my own fault because of the activities I set up for the children. But nonetheless, I was exhausted, and the children were a bit on one. But yeah, I'm excited to see what next week brings, and the week after, and the week after that. Like I say, it's a 6-week term, so I've got 5 weeks left. So I'm really having to put a lot of effort into my planning in order to make sure that I am hitting my objectives and that the children are learning what they need to learn in order to follow the learning journey. But it's going well. So yeah, there's not really a lot else to discuss, to be honest. Not much else has changed. I very quickly got back into the swing of things. It was really lovely seeing all the children. I have to admit, like, I did miss them after the 2-week Christmas break, although it was quite nice having that detox, that time away. I did miss it. I missed the teaching environment. I missed my colleagues, and I miss teaching the children. So yeah, I'm glad that the term has started back again. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what this term has to bring. So I'm going to wrap this video up now. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It was more of me just talking through how my ideas for this next term are going to play out. Like I say, I've got lots of different interesting activities planned, and obviously as the term goes on, I will update you on what we've been doing and whether or not anything has changed for me. I know that next week I have another NQT kind of council meeting that I'm obviously scheduled to go along to on Thursday, which will be exciting, and so I will obviously update you guys on what that was all about, and as part of that, obviously I'll get to be talking to other NQTs. So yeah, there we go. Okay guys, so there we go. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in. I hope you've had a successful start to 2020, and I hope that you, as I said in my last video, the video before, I hope you guys have a list of targets and goals that you want to achieve by the end of this year. And honestly, do try and write some of those goals down, because if you don't, you'll end up week by week, you know, life gets busy, right? So it's so easy to forget the goals and the tasks and the things that you want to achieve. So make sure that you're consistent writing those goals down. If you want to update them, if you want to change them, do that. Try and achieve them, and you'll find by the end of the year you will have achieved so much more than you thought even possible. Thank you guys again for checking back in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Consider subscribing, smash that like button, comment down below for any comments on what I'm doing, if you want any ideas of practicals, because as I say, it's something that I'm really interested in, it's something that I do a lot with the children, then please comment down below, and yeah, I will see you next time. Right guys, have a good one. Peace.